which we would like to consider is the drinking water. Water performs many functions in our body. The first and the foremost is its function of maintaining the body temperature. It maintains, most importantly, the fluidity of the blood. That means the viscosity of the blood is always kept in control by water in the system. It takes part in the digestion and assimilation. It is useful in saliva secretion, and it hydrates the body to maintain the skin tone. These are factors which are well known to us, but I will mention certain important points herein. So if we look at water, it is lost from our body by perspiration, sweat, and urination. You remember in school we were told that about 8 cups of saliva is produced every day. This was taught to us, say, when we were in 4th standard or 5th standard. And if we calculate how much it is, it comes to around 1600 ml of saliva is poured out every day. So if we don't, drink about 1600 ml of water, then that much saliva will not be created. And आपण मराठीत म्हणतो ना की तोंडाला कोरड पडली आहे, that feeling is because of the absence of water. So if we calculate the total requirement of water per day, it comes to around 200, typically around 2.5 liters per day. Athletes will require obviously more, but a normal person has to consume something like 160 ml or 1 glassful of water every hour. So suppose if we do not drink this water, what happens is the kidneys go on extracting water as a part of their purification process, and the blood starts becoming thicker and thicker. And after a while, the feeling of thirst comes in. So there is a large variation of blood viscosity if we do not drink water regularly. But if we drink water regularly, then the viscosity of blood, it remains virtually constant throughout the day, and this results in maintained blood pressure. This results in all organs getting hydrated very regularly, and body tone becomes much beautiful. So the tip number 4 for today is to drink water regularly during waking hours. So typically we are awake for about, say, 16 hours. So 16 hours and say 2.5 liters. So 160 milliliter of water. Drink a glass full of water every hour. Then water, most importantly, is, as we have discussed, required for saliva production. And saliva is the first enzyme which is required for digestion. So tip number 5, drink 30 minutes water 30 minutes before eating. This is required because our saliva production takes around 30 minutes of time. So before we eat, having some amount of water results in better production of saliva, which is useful for digestion. After about 35 to 45 minutes of eating, we can drink water to this will quench certain amount of acidity and ease out our digestive process. Then comes the last factor, which is the food. You may eat anything. as per your choice, as per your diet requirements, weight balancing, so on and so forth. But whatever you eat, digestion will begin in the mouth. This is a factor not known emphatically to many, because what happens is when we chew food, it is mixed with saliva. Saliva is an alkaline liquid, and it is useful to digest starch in our food. So all the digestive factors begin with saliva in the mouth. So we must chew the food extremely well and thoroughly mix it with saliva. The food must be reduced to small particles. While we are all in a hurry, we gulp our food and then we stress the stomach to digest it. Improper mastication is one of the most important causes of indigestion. So the tip number 7 is masticate our food and mix it thoroughly with saliva. Gulp it only when it is reduced to fine particles. This is very important because in our stomach, the only first liquid which can break the food down is the acid. And when the food is in large chunks, then the acid secretion is more. It takes more time for the food to get absorbed and digested. So mastication is very, very important. Eat your food very, very slowly. So the most important factor, nevertheless, is once the food is converted into digestible liquid, it has to be assimilated by absorption into the blood and given to all the organs where it is required. For assimilation, not only the food is required, but water and the blood-borne oxygen is required in adequate quantities. So if we eat in stress, then our oxygen levels are less because we are breathing shallow. Then when we breathe shallow, blood vessels are also getting constricted because of the excess adrenaline pumping because of stress. We are seeing something on mobile phone, reading news which are not good in the newspapers, and while eating. So what happens is all this starts adrenaline pumping within our body, and adrenaline pumping is known to constrict our blood vessels. So blood vessels of our digestive system, they get constricted and they cannot absorb all the nutrients appropriately. Even if they absorb a little, then the organs also have their blood vessels constricted, because of which they will not be able to get nutrients properly. As a result of which, our whole digestive system and its assimilation process gets disturbed. So while eating, be joyous. Enjoy every aspect of our food. If you are having the food, think about its good aspects. Thank the chef. Thank the food producer. Focus only on the food while eating. This is called as, in strict yogic terms, it is called as mindful eating. So mindful eating means concentrating on the good qualities of the food. Then the food is absorbed very nicely without causing you any kind of trouble of your digestive or other systems at all. So the first and the foremost thing is to practice diaphragmatic breathing, breathing through nose, then consume water appropriately, regularly, in good quantities, and at appropriate times. And take your food while you are joyous. This is called as uh, mindful eating. And there are lot many books on this topic written all over the world, that mm, how eating with joy can give you good health. So try this out for 15 days and you will find your health has improved like anything uh, out of imagination. So begin now. Thank you. How much time I have consumed?
35 minutes.
25 minutes. Okay.
35.
35. Fine. So with this, I've just explained the concept of mindful eating and diaphragmatic breathing. So there are many aspects of breathing covered in various texts of yoga. Pranayama is one. Then yogic breathing is another. Then there is something which is called as spiritual breathing. So there are various fundas of breathing, but all of them require diaphragmatic breathing. This is the basic step. So let us make a practice of breathing through the diaphragm completely. You will have excellent health, all of you. Thank you.